Welcome back to the State of Survival, folks. Today we're going to be talking about a short story, or rather a play session that me and Dimension had together. Dimension, we went straight into this world and kind of had the backpack, we had the baseball bats, but we didn't really have much of anything. And we had our new friend who's just brand new to Project Zomboid playing with us.
Yeah, it was nice not being the new person for a change and actually being able to teach somebody else. Because I remember back in the day when you guys had to teach me. This was not similar at all because our friend was a lot better than I was in the beginning. But yeah, there was some tips and tricks I was able to share to keep him alive.
I still remember him like getting surrounded by the zombies, and we're like both trying to run over and help him because he doesn't know how to actually fight them. And he's all like, "Why is my guy freaking out? What are these things? Why can't I hit them?" And then like he even started running out of breath, and we're all like, "Okay, we got to back up." He's all like, "Oh, I'm just running out of breath." We're like, "No, no, no. That's the warning sign that you need to get away."
Yeah, you need to turn and run now because you don't have very much longer that you can run.
Oh man. So he does end up eventually figuring out how to initially fight the zombies and kind of getting his ropes. So we do
Yeah,
end up going to the farmhouse, right? Like, and we're kind of like looking for food and that kind of stuff. And I think it was hilarious because he was all like fighting some zombies outside while we're in the house rummaging. And we just hear him go, "My bat broke." We're all like, "That happens, buddy." And he like comes running in. And I think we set him up with, I think, some sort of long iron pipe we found or something.
we didn't really prepare him very well for the combat he was deciding to take on. That's for sure. We turned on the cursor so that the zombies were highlighted when they got close. We actually remember to do that in the middle of a fight, so we had to finish off the horde we were fighting first and then turn that on, which helped him a lot. But we didn't warn him about durability on weapons. So he wasn't aware that his bat was going to break while he's, fighting the several zombies he's fighting. While me and Dumpcar are just inside munching on cereal and eating apples and whatever else we found in the refrigerator.
Yeah, I definitely feel that's what happened. But it reminds me of another scenario in DayZ where that happened too. Seems like maybe this is a kind of theme for you, huh? Sitting inside on the sidelines, eating while somebody else is taking care of the danger. But bygones
Listen,
be
in
bygones.
in Daisy, I was sitting outside at least.
You can hear us better. That doesn't make it any better for you. But no, it was a lot of fun. And I feel like we finally got like our characters. We got a car running. We kind of started driving. And long and behold, since I've been playing Build 42 for like the past like month and a half, I forgot that Build 41 doesn't have the same roads that Build 42 has. So I got us completely lost. I think we ended up like stopping at like a cabin next to the woods, and we're all like, "Oh yeah, this is safe," and we were wrong. There's like a good like 20 of them around there.
Listen, the funniest part about you taking over the car and getting us lost was that I was originally driving the car because you had to step away for something. So I drove the car for a little bit, and we didn't have the map unlocked, so we weren't really sure where we were going. And I'm just driving down the road, and I'm like, "All right, I'm going to take us towards this town over here." I'm driving along. Dumpgraw comes back. We switch seats. Dumpgraw's like, "I know where I'm going. I'm going to take us to this place." Gets in, turns around, goes the opposite direction that I was just driving for the past 10 minutes, and realizes that where he wants to go is not in build 41. So we end up right back where we started, where I was driving, where Dumpgrot took over the car.
One of the funniest things that were going on was the desync between us and our friend. He lives all the way over in UK, and there were moments where he was literally teleporting for me. And like it was hilarious because like I would see a zombie starting to grab him and I'm like, "No," and he's all like, "No, I'm over here." I'm like, "Oh, okay." But no, you're right. I totally did not realize the roads went back that way. But we got out of Mole Drive. We went to that cabin, like I said, and then we were fighting about 20 of them. And I felt like that was kind of when we were able to like kind of take stock of what we had, which was pretty much nothing.
I think we need to mention how dangerous it is to let Dumpcraw sing and drive at the same time. Because at one point you decided to, for whatever reason, you decided you wanted to look up music lyrics for the song you were singing, and eventually just stopped in the middle of the road. Um, while I had stepped away from my computer, by the way, so I am just hearing people yell in my headset, and come back to my character sitting in the car reading the book still, while Dumbcraw and our friend are fighting in the road. It was great.
Oh man, that was so funny. I forgot what song I was singing. I won't be singing it here because of copyright issues. But I mean, it was just hilarious. I do remember singing that song. I also remember later on singing the same song and crashing us because I was
Yep.
too busy trying to read the text. Don't read text and drive, folks. That's just a bad idea, even in Project Zomboid.
But we did start playing again the other day, and we actually had another friend of ours join us, a veteran zomboider. So we were actually kind of squatted up, so to speak, and we were running a four team and just destroying zombies. The funny part for the other day, whenever we started playing for me, was when before I actually got into the Zomboid game, I get in the Discord with you guys while I'm trying to get loaded in, and I hear y'all talking, and all I can hear one of the guys talking about is how the trunk of the car that you guys are driving is full of carrots. And he just keeps offering carrots like every 30 seconds. Anybody want any carrots? Anybody need any carrots? I don't know how y'all found that many carrots.
We went to one of the food warehouses and he picked up like 3 sacks of carrots, and our friend that's a veteran picked up 2 sacks of potatoes. So we had an excessive amount of carrots and potatoes, and it was just crazy. Okay, the funniest part of all this is exactly what you're talking about. Literally our friend just walking up to us going, "You want a carrot?" Just dropping carrots on the ground and then running off elsewhere fighting them. But yeah, I mean, this guy that we're fighting with, the veteran, was taking care of them, and he was able to use something to really aid him, and his character just started going off. I think he took down 10 to 20 zombies just by himself.
Oh yeah, and I went to assist him a couple of times, and by the time I would get to him to try to help, just to kind of make sure we had two people down here working on this side of the street, two people down here working on the other side of the street, he was just mowing through zombies so quickly. I would get a couple of swings in, and by the time I got one zombie taken care of, he's on zombie 5. And eventually I just started working on a truck to get a truck running so that we could siphon the gas for our actual car while he took care of zombies because he didn't need my help.
Yeah, I think we ended up coming across some Molotovs, and we didn't have a lighter. So we're sitting there trying to figure out how to light these Molotovs. We're like, oh no, we put the matches in one hand and hold the Molotov in the other hand. No, 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 flip it around. And then somehow I ended up holding 2 Molotovs in both hands, but they weren't lit and I didn't know what to do with them.
It was pretty wild that we didn't find a lighter in that playthrough because we had two of our characters were smokers, and for a while neither one of our both of our characters were getting depressed because neither one of us could find a lighter.
Oh man, but we had the things that you needed to calm your smokeness to tens of dozens, right? Just couldn't find that stark lighter. I just love it. I just love how every time you're playing Project Zomboid, these stories start coming to life.
Every time we talk about Project Zomboid, we talk about how the game starts you out by telling you this is how you die. And we make sure every time to mention that every story is different, every playthrough is different, every character is different. And it truly is. It doesn't matter if you're playing your multiplayer server with your friends. It doesn't matter if you're playing solo server. It doesn't matter if you're continuing in the same world that you've been playing for the last 6 months just with a new character. It's always going to be different. There's always going to be something that changes how you die, something that changes how you live, something new you learn, some new skill you try out. There's so much to do in Project Zomboid. And honestly, we've talked about one playthrough, but we have so many stories that we could tell and that we have mentioned and told throughout our episodes. And I can't wait for Build 42 multiplayer to come out so we can start Build 42 stories.
And like Dimension said, this is not a story of how you began. This is a story of how you died. Thank you very much for watching The State of Survival. Join me in thanking Dimension 119 and Red Falcon for always being in the background and supporting the channel. Ta-ta for now.
See you in another dimension.